In fact,
See?
absolutely.
So now you see Bill Gates buying up land.
Chinese.
You see the Chinese buying up land. They're understanding how to use the land wisely, and they're taking over the agricultural industry. Black farmers being pushed out.
Yeah.
Black farmers who don't have access to the same aid and money that white farmers have access to, and publicly. This is known in lawsuits and news articles.
Have you heard that is the greatest civil lawsuit in American history? Yeah.
And it's been ongoing for almost a decade.
Yeah, 10 years, yeah.
Yes. So this is the reality. You look at how many acres of land, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but look at how many acres of land we had when we came out of slavery.
Yeah, I've seen the data.
Yeah.
There's books as well.
Yeah, but that number is shrunk. Because we were on these plantations. And when we were able to get up out of the South and go to the North, places like Flint, Michigan, and Detroit, and get jobs in the factory, we abandoned the land that our grandmothers and our grandfathers had bought, but they understood. Look at America. America became a world power because of the cotton trade. Cotton was king.
That's a fact.
They produced an agricultural product that they shipped around the world that made them an economic power.
Yeah, giants, yeah.
To this day.
To this day.
So we would be foolish not to take advantage now of the land. We buying Bentleys. We talking about we want to push a foreign, right?
I wanted to segue because I want to add this important point to really frame everything you're saying. If Black people got involved with agriculture to the extent of American profit that they've gotten as an empire in the world with just the agriculture alone, we are greater farmers biologically, naturally. We are better. We are
people of the planet, of the earth.
We are agrarian people, or people that are of the earth. So we got involved with farming. We literally would be the pinnacle or the apex of Western wealth, because we will be competing with those who still growing cotton to this day. The shirts that we wearing,
real, bro.
All of the clothes that we're wearing. So
real.
It's that secret is literally so obvious. It's right in front of us. If we knew how to get in that competitive arena with other races, other ethnic groups, and get involved with agriculture, like you're saying, we would basically be the world power with agriculture and trade.
That's why what you're doing is so important, because our people have to be taught. We've been taught a certain way, and that has become the norm in our thinking. But now the idea is growing. We gotta have land. We gotta buy up the block. The idea is growing, and you see it. How do you buy land? What do I need to do? You start seeing these cooperatives.
Actually, since you went there, you mind if I interject?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you. Would you be able, personally, in your program, be able to guide with the purchasing process of buying land?
Not me personally.
Okay.
That's fair. But we have real estate agents. What do you call them? Realtors. We have those people inside of our organization and inside of our community. Brother, I get an email every month from a company that goes around the country, and they have lots for sale. So it may be a 6-acre lot.
Oh yeah.
It may be 100 acres.
Yeah.
And the way that they sell it is you could go in a purchase agreement. You may not have $20,000, $30,000 up front, but they'll allow you to put a down payment down and then pay it off monthly. We can create these types of cooperatives. Buying land, especially if we're doing it together, is not hard.
Right.
What has to change, the opportunity is there, but the mind is not there.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely.
See, our mind, this is important to what we're doing. Our mind is still wrapped up in white civilization, in the dominant society. In other words, we are more happy to be the first CEO of A, B, and C company now owned by us. That's right. Then we are to take our knowledge, skill, and understanding and become entrepreneurs and create a company that competes. I used to work for a brother, and this brother was a multi-millionaire. And let me tell you how he became a multi-millionaire. He went to school. And he was one of those that excelled in corporate America. He was the first black this, the first black in the company he was in. And he reached a plateau. They wouldn't allow him to become a president, vice president, or CEO of the company because he was black.
Yeah.
So you know what he did? His job responsibility was to manage the toilet paper and I forget which, but the supplies for the entire company.
Yeah.
So they
inventory.
Literally the toiletries and things of that nature, the towels you wipe your hand with.
Yeah, I'm following. Right.
He opened up his own company that supplied those goods, and because he was the director of the department, he hired himself. So he hired his company that they would supply the toilet paper, they would supply the hand towel, they would supply the soap, all of these needs. Till he became a multimillionaire and walked away from the company and was contracted to do what he was doing, so his money continued to come in, and then he started building in the black community business centers, opening up a daycare center, opening up restaurant, opening up barbershop, opening up salon, opening up ice cream shop. See, our mindset has to change.
Yeah, you're right.
If our mindset, they say free your mind. If your mindset changes, then the reality changes. You start saying, I don't want to be a part, and this is the fear.
No, I'm listening.
I don't want to be a part of this society anymore. This is what we mean when we say justice or else. And you see here the symbolism is the capital of the United States of America. It is a reminder that this country owes us justice, but we know they have no intention of ever giving us justice. So we have to become the oil. What is the oil? Well, it has many meanings. But one of the meanings in particular is that if you won't give us justice, if you won't give us what we are deserving of, then we'll get it for ourselves. See?
Yeah.
And when that mind comes, that makes them afraid. And that makes some of us afraid. Because some of us don't believe, this is important, brother, some of us don't believe we can do it without the Caucasian. When we have, I'm just being real, when we have our new membership comes in, we say this is a safe place for melanated people. And not out of disrespect and not out of hatred.
Yeah.
But if a Caucasian comes on the line, we explain to them, we want to build and strengthen our people first.
You know, I think the reason why probably us as modern African or African-American people, we had this doubt is because we don't understand history. We understand history, then we know as many successful empires and civilizations we've had, that it's really a shame for us to pride ourselves of that capability today when we've done it well over the percentages that we've been in America. That's just 400 years here. Well, our legacies go back like 8,000 BCE. So, it's the deprivation of knowledge is what keeps us from being able to surrender and have that hope or that faith that we could do it on our own,
And that's why we jumping out of the Ministry of Agriculture to the Ministry of Education. That's why we started and have a Ministry of Education. Let's be honest, as we already have been, our people have been miseducated.
Is that Carter G. Woodson?
Yes, sir.
Miseducation of the
miseducation of the Negroes.
Yeah.
So then we have to be retaught. Wait though, if we're going to be retaught, it's not good enough to put black teachers in white institutions. It's not good enough to have a predominantly black school district, but the curriculum and the material is still owned and produced by our former colonial masters or slave masters. We have to have a process that we put together our own education system, that we teach our own children a curriculum that we develop. See?
And that'll do exactly what you said is free their mind.
It frees their mind. And the 8,000, 10,000, brother, the history of black people goes back to the beginning of God.
Yeah, you're right.
We are direct descendants of that God that came out of the created himself out of the triple darkness of space, a black God. See, when you're teaching your babies like that, oh yeah, well, it's good to talk to the baby and tell the baby, well, you know who invented the washing machine, Junior? We invented the washing machine. That's wonderful.
You know, if you go back to God,
But when you
Come back to
say,
yourself.
you know who you are, Junior? Well, who am I, Daddy? You know that God that everybody talks about? That God that everybody worships? That God that's created the heavens and the earth? That's your daddy. That's your granddad.
yeah, yeah.
And all of civilization comes out of you. All of life comes out of you. All advancement in science and mathematics comes out of you. So when I'm teaching you mathematics, I'm teaching you about yourself. When I'm teaching you science, I'm teaching you about yourself because you're the originator of that. Now, what kind of child does that produce?
Yeah, the
Now,
nutty, God.
A God.
A God.
So we have to have an education system that we control that brings us back to our godhood. We were able to do what we did and build a civilization that we built, that they talk about, that's unmatched
That's a fact.
today, because we were understanding who we were in the God sense of who we were.
You know, I wanted to segue back into land and make it relevant for that. If you didn't mind that, I just mentioned it.
At your service.
And what's interesting is that we don't see our spirituality, or let's say our spiritual mind state, our spiritual consciousness is related to land. But if our thoughts are related to our diet and our clean air, you know, our environment, that's connected to the land and agriculture. You know, you got to have healthy food to have a healthy, let's say, consciousness.
You do.
A healthy reality. And so with us living in these earth